Alright guys, today we are taking another look at 14 Fiora over on the Chinese Super server. For those of you who don't know, 14 Fiora is the world's best Fiora player, peaking over 2k LP, and is known for some of these crazy aggressive early game plays with Conqueror, Ignite setup. And yeah, let's jump into game and take a look again at how he can abuse these early games to get massive leads and snowball out of control. Okay guys, straight into game, and like I was saying, 14 Fiora, if you haven't watched him before, is super aggressive in the early game, so I'm expecting this to be a bit of a hyphy mashup as we dodge. So we use the movement speed of the passive to immediately dodge the Darius Q and proc bone plating, and we're just going to look for an all-in here. We do have Ignite, we're going to drop it, and again, we're not focusing exclusively on passives. We get that one, but again, we're not waiting for that second passive to arrive, so just something to bear in mind in the early game. It's not worth sacrificing the auto attacks to try and guarantee passives, and even against something like a Darius, you can dodge that Q, then solo kills level 1 are possible. As we're going to try and shove this in. Next wave is going to arrive, but Darius has the Ghost Flash, no TP, so might try and hard shove the next wave as well. And look for a reset. But again, this is why I think watching people like 14 Fiora, JJ King and stuff, but more so 14, because he does play more aggressively, but it just allows you to see what the limits are as we perfectly sidestep that Q from Darius. The attack speed slow. Because bear in mind guys, like the W as well, you don't have to try and get the stun with it all the time. The attack speed slow from it and just the base damage is really, really nice early game. And as you can see, people disrespect it. We sidestep that. Q auto W. Remember, get weave in those autos where you can. And now look, Darius thinks he can trade back, and look, he just gets absolutely chunked because he's disrespecting the attack speed slow. I'm going to shove this in. Might even look for a dive now. As, oh, just about. I think ideally what we would have wanted there was to auto the passive. I wasn't sure if we was actually going to get this off. But we have to Q in to dodge the outer Q. But obviously massive trade. Huge for us. Darius has 2 CS. He's going to miss this entire wave. And yeah, again, nice to notice we've got Demolish this time. 14 doesn't always take Demolish, but I'm sure we're going to see him abuse the shit out of that this game. As we get the Sheen this game, okay. This is interesting. Usually always seeing him go Gore Drinker. So let's see what he's going for. Maybe he's going for trying out the Trinity Force. Looks like it. He just checked the item in the shop there as we run back to the lane. So already this Darius is not in the best of positions. As we just open with auto attacks, we save both Q and W. Still haven't used Q. We're just ensuring that this Darius cannot land that Q. So again, walking up. In, we W for the heal reduction. And again, just being extra careful in case Darius manages to get a Q off. You know, it could be unfortunate. So I mean, that is crazy that you can just walk up and auto him to death in his wave like that as well, with a Sheen. But he knows his limits, does 14, as we could hold this for a freeze. Maybe thin it out a bit. But again, 14's not known for massive freezes, so I doubt he's going to choose that option, especially with Demolish. Probably going to want to look to abuse that rune. And Darius going to get zoned off of XP here. Again, you don't need to queue in. You don't need to use your abilities or go for damage. Just the threat of it alone can force your opponents to lose XP and gold. It's just about positioning yourself in these aggressive pockets. So for example, like right now, you could be at your melee minions, autoing these, but Darius would be allowed to walk up and get the XP for these, but by standing just a little bit further up, like it's not a massive difference, but it's just being aware of your positioning. So standing near these backline creeps, you can look to zone. It's getting near the bush now to drop the aggro off the range creeps. And Darius gonna need some jungle assistance to get this wave crashed. And even then, we're about to hit 6, so 2v1s are possible. Oh. I think he might have tried to QW there. As we've got a nice Vital, and we're zoning him very consciously off of that cannon XP, you can see now. Dies to it and then immediately runs back to lane. So again guys, I see a lot of people sometimes on Summoner School talking about how to play around super passive lane opponents. And I think this is a great example of what to do. Like, you don't need to kill them over and over again. Obviously, in this matchup, we have got 2 kills, 3 kills already. But fundamentally, what he's doing now, shovel wave in, get a big crash, play the bounce, set up a freeze if you are against someone's playing super passive, and then also go that one step further, zone them from XP and gold. Because effectively, what is a kill? It's the denial of the opponent getting resources and gaining a net advantage by picking up those same resources yourself. So the exact same thing can be achieved through freezing and aggressive positioning to deny them. As we've got building up quite a wave here. Team 14 pull off some insane dives. So we'll see. I think it'll be pretty tricky to 100 to 0 the Darius, so see what we do here. As we proc the bone plate and get a little bit of a trade, are going to get pulled into the tower. I think we're just prepping him for a potential dive. Because again, a 1-4-1. Oh, nice timing on that Q. This is something I need to learn myself, is the timing on when to go for these little pokes under tower. So you can see that Q's in as the tower is about to shoot its next shot. And you can get these little bits of poke off. So that's really tricky to be consistent with, but can be massive, especially on a champ like Fiora when you get a nice Vital. You don't have to be too worried of the tower. We're going to get pulled in and ignited. It's going to be a 1-for-1 triumph, almost saving him actually. So we get pulled in. We have to W, but again, I mentioned this in the last 14 video. If you RW, the timing works out that your W will proc one of your passives, and Darius almost lives, but not quite. And that's going to be another fat wave lost. We pick up a plate as well. We'll probably sell refill for Triforce. Or maybe we just... yeah, there we go. So I haven't tried Triforce yet. I've been sticking with the Gore Drinker when I have been playing. Because I'm trying to emulate these hyper-aggressive Fiora players rather than just going Sundera with Grasp. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But got to practice these things to improve. Again, take it into normal games or flex games. And give it a go. So I think it's more engaging as well to play the Conqueror setup than it is Grasp. And as we've seen, like even against something like a Darius, as we bait for the Kazakhs, Surely we're not flashing for this. We do for the 2 and 5. Oh, he's gone Bramble Vest as well. But it's not going to save him. But yeah, take this into normal games, flex games. Give it a go. It is a very different play style to the Sunderer Grasp setup. But as you can see, even against something like a Darius, bit of an early game bully. But 14 Fiora is showing us that you don't have to sit back and scale. As we, like I say, utilize that Demolish proc, crunch these towers. Gonna get a reset off after this. Probably look for... You got a choice. Go for Tabbies. We are double AD top jungle with Darius Kane. I quite like the Tabbies here, but we'll see. He might just go Tiamat. Or secret option number 3. Oh, nice. We saved the W for the ult. Get all the procs here. We are out of mana, but just get enough for the Q at the end there. And of course, I'm talking about what items we're going to buy. Of course, this is a spot where you look for the kill. Again, we ult. How do we get that first proc? Is that an auto slipping through? Yeah, I think so. And again, saving the W now that Darius is 6. So allowing the Q to hit us. And then pretty standard stuff, proccing them all. Getting that Q with the Trinity Force off there at the end. And I wonder if this is a build. I need to have a look at more of his games, but I'm wondering if he's settling on Triforce now for Fiora. Or if it's a situational purchase for him. Because beforehand it was literally every single game, every opponent was Gore Drinker. But a new Triforce might be the motive, as yeah, we look for more damage, of course. What fool I was to assume that Tabby could have been even an option. As Darius has, what's that, 26 CS? He was eyeing up Berserker Greaves there. 6 and 2, massive wave coming in. Gonna look for this first tower. So, as I've mentioned before, I wonder as we just go all in on the Darius, and I think he's gonna be dead here. Can land a Q, but drop the ignite just in case. And I wonder if we're gonna go straight for the tower. We are. Said in a couple other videos, sometimes you want to leave those towers up for a little bit longer to extend the laning phase, so you can deny your opponents more. But 11 minutes, 11 and a half minutes. Not super early for the Chinese super server at least. And we make the instant roam to mid. Just going to look to absorb some more of these plates. But again, realizing we have shoved top wave all the way into tower. Be sure to do that after you take the tier 1. You don't want to give your opponent the opportunity to freeze. As Twitch is going to flash in. We actually hold the W there. I probably would have W'd the Kane ult. And Camille cleanly going to pick that up. Camille mid. Triforce as well. Interesting. And now let's see. So there's a big wave coming in top. I think we're going to want to go catch that. We have Tiamat now. But instead we're running mid. We see Darius top as well. But still looking for mid to contest the Herald push. I would be a bigger fan of going top here, to be honest. That's a big wave that Darius is denying us. And we're going to be losing plates to him, so giving him a little bit of gold that he probably shouldn't have. So we're going to roam into the enemy jungle. Spot the Kane, get the slow. And just one-shot him with that Vital there. So Camille's gone to pick up the top wave. Now mid is open. I was just going to ult and one-shot the Twitch there. Nothing fancy. No flash, Tiamat, not Tiamat, spike, combos there. Just a 3-level advantage. You don't need to worry too much. And again, in most games, I would say the lower variance play is the one that you should probably be going for. So probably just going top and picking up that wave. In this case, it worked out, and that's great. But out of all of the videos we've covered so far, one thing that has been a constant for these players is that they don't give their opponents any chance of coming back in the game. As we get sniped by Senna right at the end there. Twitch gonna live. He's probably just having a bit of fun now. But yeah, you should be looking for the lowest variance play. There's enough variance in League as is. So if you know you can run top and prevent your laner from getting, you know, a few plates and picking up 2 waves of XP, you should probably be doing that. But we managed to get a few kills. Hydra now completed. Mid lane tower's going to fall. Drag's coming up, but we might start looking for these tier 2s now. Don't forget how much gold they're worth, guys. Like 600 gold for a tier 2. Nothing to scoff at. And again, when you're playing these champions that don't really love team fighting, you don't have to be near the objective to help your team. Literally opposite side of the map, create enough pressure to draw 1, if not 2 members of the enemy team, create a favourable 3v4 for your team around the objective. Don't make the mistake of thinking, oh, I've got all these kills and like resources, I need to be with my team to help them. There are more ways to help your team than just by a 5v5 in. Speaking of 5v5, as we one-shot the Darius, Riot just announced the ARAM clash, which is pretty hype. Definitely going to be playing that. Don't know about you guys. Going to be interesting. A tournament format where you don't get to pick your champs. But it'll be fun. Do like a bit of ARAM from time to time. Nice to unwind from the anxiety and depression that is League of Legends solo queue. As we do go down. Skip ahead here. Let's see where we're going to go. So again, heading top lane. Still got this tier 2 to take down. And might have a bit of a vendetta against this Twitch now. It's taken us out twice. As we hunt him down, we do actually find him. Twitch may have been able to run back there, so I don't know if we're going to find him. We didn't quite hug the wall. I think Twitch may have been able to go back into the alcove. As we're still hunting for him. 14, absolutely fuming that Twitch managed to get 2 kills on him. But again, Triforce as well is going to help with this split push. It's the one downside of Gore Drinker. Find that without the Sheen, your tower taking is a little bit slower. Darius walking up a little bit. Oh, but there's 4 all of a sudden. We're going to W the Darius ult. Get exhausted. And yeah. That was a lot more people than I was expecting. But let's watch it. Let's see how we played that. So obviously focusing the tower. Darius walks up. We have flash. We ult a target immediately. So this is something as well to keep in mind. Like when you're in these sort of hectic fights, don't hesitate too much worrying over which target to ult. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be much better for you to just pick a target and get your 4 procs off. And that healing in these situations can be the difference. So, you know, if you waste another second or 2 trying to pick the perfect target or the tankiest target, you're just not going to get the procs off in time. and the healing is what's really valuable. But again, they use a lot to kill us here. We do have the flash, but not really an opportunity to use it there. But they use a lot. Let's skip ahead. We get the tier 2 at least, and bot lane's getting pushed out. Again, taking jungle camps where possible. Always staying hungry for resources. We're almost at 10 CS a minute, 170 at 18. And again, we would have been a lot further ahead in terms of CS, but we did make some of those decisions early to take those more coin flippy roams rather than picking up the CS. But it worked out for us this game. As we are running to this final tier 2. It's very systematic, the way in which he's choosing where to go on the map. As is the case for a lot of these pros and high elo players. It's all about objectives, and by objectives I do mean towers as well, as the Kane walks into us and gonna get shredded there. Just takes a couple vitals and he is out of the game. As we've got a flank on the Darius. He does waste the Q. And again, a couple of them. We get the QW stun actually. Ooh, Janna almost going down. This Twitch and Senna are playing out of their minds to try and win this. Oh.
Hi.
Hi, he says, as finally going to be able to get that Twitch.
Hi.
And the center for the double. And man, I want to give this a go. Triforce isn't something I've built on any champ in God knows how long. But I've seen it's making a comeback with Fiora and Camille, which is nice to see, especially on Camille. Always felt a bit awkward playing her with Sundara. As again, Vladimir saving his W for next game. Getting shredded. We might even flash for... Oh, we don't need a flash. Man. When you get ahead on this champ, it is absolutely insane. I need to put in more games myself, because I watch these games and then I go into mine. And I try and play like super aggressive level 1. But then halfway through the trade I get scared and then I back off. I need to just commit. That's half of the problem, because if you're not going grasp, there's no point taking tiny short trades. Oh, we actually used the stun to pick up the Twitch there. That was really nice. He whistles. What's that stun? Oh, the Senna W. Really, really nice. Something to keep in mind as well when you're loading into game. Just take a quick mental note of what CCs the enemy comp has. As it's not always just about the 1v1 or the 1v2 top lane. As we end the game 18-5. Almost 10 CS a minute. Dominating this Darius. And like I say, taking over as always. 14 Fiora. Him and JJ King, two super aggressive Fiora mains over on the Chinese server. I will be doing a video on JJ King soon. But that was a fun one. Into a matchup that I think a lot of people would probably play a little too passive in the early game. We saw the level 1 shenanigans. We'll just watch it one more time. But again, that is the most important part of this entire thing. Walking up, using the move speed to help dodge the Q. I guess even if the Darius responds faster with the Q, I guess you could use your Q to dive in, and the outcome would probably be the same. It's just with this, Darius has no damage and we've already got off an auto and a Q. And then from there it was just taking him down. Darius even taking Ignite this game and wasn't even close. So yeah, don't play too passive if you're going to try this Conqueror setup. Level 1 is very strong on Fiora. Weave in those autos. Don't always engage with these max Qs, like walk up an auto first, because it's all about the race to Conqueror. Once you get to 12 stacks, you're like a different champ. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review of 14 Fiora. Let me know if there's anyone else, any other pros or players on any server you want me to check out. Happy to do so. Or any other champions. One of you requested Gwen. Still on the lookout, trying to find someone who plays it consistently at a high level, but hopefully be able to hook you up soon. But yeah, if you do think of anyone, let me know in the comments. Really appreciate anyone liking and subscribing to the channel. Really does mean a lot. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.